it'd be great for people that might be going, hey, look, I think either myself or someone I know or someone in my family or someone I'm close to is struggling with their anxiety. And we all kind of have learned that message, especially over the last few years as anxiety and mental health and depression become a lot more talked about out in the open in Australia, is that we all kind of know that we can go to our GP and get a mental health care plan. As a GP, and obviously not trying to go into anyone's specific situation, but what does that look like when someone comes to you and says, hey, I'm really struggling with my anxiety, I think I need some help? What are the kind of things that a GP is likely to then ask them back? And I'm hoping that this can kind of just shed a little bit more light and perhaps take some of the fear or some of the unknown out of what that first step, which is a huge step for someone to be able to take, might be like.
Yeah, great question. The first thing that a GP is going to want to do when you come to them is hear all of the things you've noticed about your body and your mind. Whatever you can share is helpful, and you don't have to know what it means. You don't have to come and say, I know I've got an anxiety disorder, or I know I'm depressed. Those two, by the way, do tend to go hand in hand. You don't have to know what kind of anxiety disorder. Just whatever you have noticed in your mind and body are helpful clues. We call them symptoms, but they're clues.
Yeah.
And what we're looking for there is a diagnosis.
Okay.
We're wanting to make our best guess at what is going on in your body and mind at a chemical level. So that's diagnosing. That's our number one thing. We're going to listen to all of the clues you can give us, and then we're going to ask a couple more questions to see if we can squeeze a few more clues out. So I might ask about sleep, about diet, about memory and concentration, about other physical things as well, heart rate, palpitations, gut things, libido. So in terms of sexual health, it affects every organ system, so it affects sexual health as well. We'll ask kind of all your organ systems will go, are there any clues lurking in any corner of your body to see what's going on? The thing that's going on in our mind there is, what's the diagnosis? And it may well be clear to me and the patient at the time that this is probably an anxiety disorder, but there are a few things that might masquerade as an anxiety disorder, and we need to rule them out. So then your doctor might actually prescribe a blood test. Possibly. It depends on whether one's been done recently and what clues are caught in that conversation. But your doctor might do a blood test just to check we're not missing anything else. Anemia, thyroid disease, diabetes, heart conditions. We want to make sure we're not missing things that are not anxiety disorders but actually might just look like them in some way. Once the diagnosis is clear, then there will be a bigger conversation about what we're going to do about it. So treatment. Now, that might be more than one consultation. Because already that might be more than your 15-minute time, and you might need to get a blood test done in between.
Exactly.
So often I have this diagnosis and treatment conversation over 2 consultations with the patient. And that's because we do need to be thorough at the start to make sure we got it right and that we work together as a team to get a good treatment plan in place. So it can, even at the start, take time. With treatment, then we have the conversation about all those foundational things that are really important. We talk about diet, sleep, exercise, social connection, any other stresses that are going on in life, and we talk about drugs and alcohol as well. And then we'll talk about those 2 treatment arms. If we are looking at an anxiety disorder, there are 2 treatment arms: psychology, medication, depending on what diagnosis we're looking at, on the patient's, what they've already tried, and on the degree of severity. We might choose one, both, etc. A mental health plan is a way of writing down our goals for treatment. and all the various parameters for the patient, the diagnosis, the severity, the symptoms, and the particular things we want to address.
Yeah.
Once that's done, that goes to Medicare as well, and that provides subsidised sessions to see a trained psychologist if it's relevant.
Yeah.
So that's the value of a mental health plan. It's not just the Medicare paperwork, but in developing a really good, sophisticated and tailored plan for the patient.
Yep. The benefit is that it does provide that subsidised ability to see a psychologist if that's necessary, which sometimes makes that, achievable for people.
A bit more accessible.
Yeah, they can be expensive. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you get 6 sessions and then you can review with your GP and get an additional 4. Is that correct?
That's right, and that's per year.
Okay.
So 12 months later, another 6 plus 4.
Yeah, fantastic. Which is great because it means that if you're in a place where you need help, hopefully if finances are a concern, there is a way that you can try and at least still seek some of that help, even if, you can't just afford to walk into a psychologist's office and go, book me in every week for the next year.
Yes, and there are bulk billing psychology clinics. Local area mental health services do have a list of them.
Fantastic.
So,
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. If it was helpful or encouraging, we'd love for you to drop a like on it and share it around. You can see way more content on our website, anxiousfaith.org, where you can listen to each episode of the podcast, find more resources, and read our blog all around mental health and faith. Be sure to also follow us on socials via the links in the description and subscribe to our channel so you can be kept in the loop when we're dropping more content for you. Thanks so much, and God bless.